How's it? How's it? All right. Bully the Bully Adventures with Friends, episode 2. I dragged my buddy Justin out here. So, story behind how Justin and I became friends. We have a mutual friend, Eugene. Eugene, what's up, pal? And anyway, so it was about 2012. We arranged this ride to do from LA all along the 1 through Big Sur, and where did we stay?
We went up to like maybe Monterey, and then came back.
That's right.
And stayed in like San Luis Obispo, maybe, or a little north of there.
Yeah, or just somewhere close to.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, how that even came upon, and that was kind of my first introduction to adventure riding. Was in 2003. I was working, selling cars, hated the job, and a buddy of mine, Ryan, had just moved out to LA because his girlfriend had gone to go study out there, and he possessed 2 motorcycles at that time, a Harley and an R1, and he had just moved out there. And I called him up and I was like, dude, I hate this job. I'm gonna fly out to LA, let's jump on your bikes and let's just ride up the coast. And he's like, all right, sweet, come on. So I flew out there, we jumped on those bikes. We didn't even really know we were going, and back those days there was no GPS, whatever. We just knew we'll follow the coast.
Printing out Yahoo Maps.
Yeah, exactly, MapQuest, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? But like literally we just said, we'll jump on the 1 and follow up the coast. And that's when I first encountered Big Sur, totally blown away. Always said I want to do that ride again. Of course it takes years and years and years, plan it. And the next thing, finally get that planned, and going out there, and Eugene invites Justin as well, and that's how we became buddies. And that's kind of how, you know, motorcycles make friends.
Yeah, it's even funnier because Eugene and I in 2014 maybe, we went to Yacht Week in Croatia.
That's right.
And then we flew over to Rome and rode motorcycles in Rome, and the 2 of us drove up to, oh man, where we go? Lake Como. We did a lap around Lake Como in northern Italy from Rome, over to Florence and Milan, and then over to Verdun Gorge, somewhere in southern France.
Killing the game.
And then down to Nice and Monaco and back around.
So badass. Coming back, and that, you know, I was saying, I was like, you know, that was the kind of the first taste that I had. So when we were planning that ride, I'd never ridden a BMW GS. I'd never ridden an adventure bike, a Triumph Tiger, none of that stuff. And so when we were planning that ride, I just assumed we were going to either, you know, get cruisers or naked sport bikes or whatever. You know what I mean? I've been a sport bike guy my whole life. And that trip back in 2003, I was on Ryan's R1 the entire time, and he was the one who said, no, let's rent BMW GS's. And I was like, serious? He goes, dude, they're the most comfortable long distance bike you can imagine. So I was like, all right. So when I tried to reserve mine, these guys had snagged all the BMWs already. So
Yeah.
I ended up on the Triumph Tiger, which was just as good. It was awesome. So it was ever since that ride that the seed was planted to get into this. And like you said, life gets in the way, and you know, everything like that. So, but anyway, full circle. Now here we are. And a funny story about today as well is Justin's an experienced rider. And so if you remember my last episode where I took Andy up for the first time ever, but not thinking, man, he hasn't ridden in a long time, taking him on such a long ride, that's a long distance for somebody. I was like, so we had a fantastic ride. It was awesome. But we got back and I was like, man, if I'm going to do this more and take buddies out there, I got to hone this down. I got to bring the mileage in a little bit. So even though Justin's experienced and can handle long distances, I was like, dude, you got to be my guinea pig, and we're just going to kind of stay in the North Georgia mountains region. So today ended up being approximately 150 miles. And it was pretty cool. We went up the backside. We went to Richard Russell, entered on the backside of Richard Russell, came through all that scenic area over there. And then as soon as we got on 60 towards Suchess, we jumped off onto some Forest Service roads, took us pretty cool little mountain pass and through some ravines and all that kind of thing. On that, then we pulled into TWO. We're staying here at 2 wheels only. Set up camp, dropped the bags, and then I was like, there's a off-road. What does OHV stand for?
over something vehicle? Over
something, So you're allowed to take four-wheelers and all that kind of thing. And it's about 25 minutes ride from here. So I was like, so we dropped the bags, took just the bikes and shot over there and did the loop. That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The trails aren't too bad. It had like stacks of single trails to ride on and some pretty wide two-way trails also. Kind of in a big loop, so
yeah. So we kind of just did the main loop over there, and like you said, the offshoots, you can get into some single track and all that kind of thing. So it was a nice way to mix it up, you know what I mean? Coming off of the Forest Service roads and these mountain passes, and then getting into something a little bit tighter. I'd like to spend some more time there and kind of do a little bit more exploring through there. It's called Wizen Hunt, if I didn't mention that. And then but I said to him, I was like, there was a guy who was pretty, more experienced, and he's like, you could tell he was waiting to kind of take us. And I said to Justin, I was like, dude, you want to go? And he was actually, I don't care. And I was like, man, it's late in the afternoon, I don't want to get stuck. So we kind of just stayed to the what do you call it? It's two-lane, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a two-way trail.
Two-way trail.
Fairly wide, right?
Fairly, a little bit wider than a single track. So
it was basically two single tracks kind of stacked because it was ruts on both sides.
Yeah.
Right? So you just kind of stay on one side.
Yeah. So very cool. So I'm actually I'm happy with this loop, this 150-mile first day loop. You get to experience everything. I'm happy with the way it turned out. And like I said, we've set up camp, so not too long. We'll make some food, hit the sack, and then we're actually heading back to Atlanta pretty early in the morning. So it was an awesome day. Other than that, hey, how's your day?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, found some good trails. Roads are good. Weather's beautiful.
So there we go. I'm happy with this loop that we did today, and I think this is what I will be taking more buddies on. I think this is very doable. I think this loop, if you're an experienced rider like Justin, how did you feel technical wise? And even though it wasn't crazy, but you still had a good time and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's as difficult as you want to make it, right? It's
Yeah.
North Georgia roads. If you want to kind of bomb them, that's fine. You don't have
Yeah.
to,
So exactly. So, Justin being an experienced rider to someone who's, any of my buddies who are not experienced or haven't ridden in a while or whatever, I think this loop will cover all bases, and every single person will just have a really good time. So this is what I'm gonna do more often. So anyway, cheers. Bully the Bully Adventures with Friends, episode 2 is a wrap. Time for some dinner. Cheers. I'm getting kind of fancy with these dinners. Not really. Still doing the ramen noodles, but now, well, yes, chicken noodle added in for flavor. So making up part of that. You can hear these guys are still pulling in. Only motorcycles are allowed to camp here, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, making up some dinner.